Calvin Castine at the Chazy Lions Club Recreation Park in beautiful downtown Chazy, and this is the 29th day of July 2007. We're here for the Lions Club annual Old Home Day, and as usual, a big part of our coverage will be the annual Lions Club car show, but there's a lot more than what we'll be showing you going on here at this annual event. It's a day that people from out of town come back, and people in town come on down to share each other's company and to reminisce and just enjoy a nice North Country summer day at the Chazy annual Lions Club Old Home Day here in beautiful downtown Chazy. We've got Roy Hurd in the background up at the bandstand. So if you listen real close, you might be able to hear him on occasion. This is the first vehicle we're going to look at. It's a 1930 Ford Model A, and the owner is listed as T. Dumas from West Chazy. A very nice, almost three-tone, I guess. It's a little more than two-tone. The roof and around the windows is a deep dark brown, a lighter shade of brown for the body, and then the fenders are not quite black, a little brownish to them, but that might be from the reflection off the car. Almost black fenders on this vehicle with the running board. Very, very nice shape. Next door is a Sam Fairchild vehicle, and Sam doesn't do much time painting up his vehicles. In fact, he's sitting right in this one. He decided to park it and sit there. He's seated in the driver's side. It's got the rumble seat with a spare, a Pink Panther in the back, and along with another stuffed animal. Well, this is 90% original according to the sheet here. It's a 1929 four-cylinder, and as we said, Sam Fairchild is sitting in it, entertaining the visitors. Next to it, this is a 1931 John Aldous from Plattsburgh. It's painted green with the black fenders and a lot of shiny chrome. So we've got a 29, a 30, and a 31 here. Very nice looking vehicle. And as it is with many of the car shows, the participants are the ones who vote. So the participants will get a sheet, and they'll go around and look at the other vehicles, and they will be the ones, people who enter cars are the ones who judge others. There's Sam up and about, probably going out to vote. There's a 1930 Model A. This one here, over here, is a town sedan. This one's a little sportier. It's a lighter shade of green. And we saw this, I believe, at the county car show this year. This is George Legnart's Model A. George from Rouse's Point. And when I was there with Gordy Little, we did take a few moments to talk with George about his vehicle and about his his general car collecting experiences. Here's one from Vermont. Very nice red convertible. I would guess that it's actually two-tone red. I'm wondering if they had any convertibles back then. This is a Studebaker, and let's see if we can find the owner. It's Fred Fortune from Richmond, Vermont, and I'm trying to remember if this is one we saw also at the North Country Chamber of Commerce car show in June. Whether we did or didn't, this is a beauty. I seem to remember that there was a nice looking red Studebaker there, and it may have been this one.
They're going to start the kids' game over by the games, I should say. Over by the soccer field.
Rennie is announcing that the kids' games are about to start.
You wanted to kill me.
Any kids ages 4 to 12, go right out to that. Please come up and see me to let me know.
There's one I know we saw in Plattsburgh. Hubie Wells is chatting. Hubie had this one, and we talked to him and his wife toward the end of our coverage of that particular car show. Hubie from Plattsburgh, and this is, I believe, a 28. Let's zoom in and find out together. It's a 1928, yes indeed, Ford two-door Model A. Please look, but do not touch. But this is in great shape, and a lot of work went into making it look like this, as we found out at the North Country Chamber of Commerce car show.
We used to work together at Alton Gunneman years ago, yeah, when I was a kid. And
next is the 34 to 42 category. Danny Mattoon. Looks like he's from Morrisonville. Yeah. It's a 38 Dodge Coupe, or Coupe. I like this one. I just love those headlights and the grille. Like this one's ready to race around a racetrack. And in the early days of Airborne, this is the kind of vehicle you'd see racing around racetracks. I don't know if he races this one or not, but if he does, I hope he's very careful with it, because it's a beauty. 1938. Now this one is a souped up model. This chrome is not original here. This is definitely not original. At one time this was a 1934, looks like, yeah, Plymouth Coupe, and Lois Grant looks like the name of the ownership. And as we said, it's souped up, and it's a little closer to the ground than it was when it came off the showroom. It's kind of a low rider right now. This 1950 Chevy Deluxe. The sign on the window says unrestored, all original. Frank Henshaw from Plattsburgh is the owner. And Unrestored is what it says.
Well, I just saw her daughter's here.
So here in the year 2007, this car would be 57 years old.
And you know what? I talked to her.
Hard to believe it's unrestored. And it's all original. But the owner ought to know what he's talking about. So this is really an outstanding vehicle. With the fender skirts here covering up the... Never quite understood the value of those, but I guess people like the straight line that they added there when they covered up the tire. 1950 black Chevy Deluxe, and every time I see a 1950 Chevy Deluxe, I have to mention that I rode in the back seat and occasionally the front seat of one of these for a great many years when I was growing up, because my family had a 1950 Chevy Deluxe and it was black. This one's got a license plate that a lot of car fanciers would probably like to have. Not necessarily a green one like this Vermont entry, but this plate. This is in the 55 to 63 category, and it's a 1960 convertible Oldsmobile. Jim Goulet from Colchester, Vermont. This is hot. What you call a hot car. Great lines on it. 1960 Oldsmobile. Look at that, it's almost a straight line from the front to the back. And as with the case of many of these vintages, it looks just as nice from behind as it does in the front. I'm well on record as saying that I prefer cars that look like they did coming off the showroom, or even the ones like Sam Fairchild's who look like they've been around, but still look like they were intended to look, just a few years older. I'm not a big fan of the hot rods, but I understand a lot of people are, and that it's a big part of all these car shows, the hot rod type. And this is not exactly what you call a hot rod, but it's certainly not what you'd see coming off the showroom floor. It's a nice looking one, that's for sure. And probably one of the most popular vehicles ever made was the 1950 Chevy. This is a black Bel Air. 1957 Chevy. Okay, looks like Marlene Mercy from Montgomery Center, Vermont, made the trip all the way down here to show off this one. And frankly, I'm kind of glad she did. Usually when we see a 57, it's blue or red or even an aqua color. But this one here looks nice in black and white. And a very familiar sight is Rudolph Misek's 1962 Dodge. He's from Plattsburgh. You see this in a lot of parades. and at a lot of car shows. Rudolph is justifiably proud of this station wagon and is very gracious about bringing it to a whole lot of events during the spring and summer months. If you like tail fins, there's a nice big long red one. Chrysler Corporation during the late 50s into very, very early 60s, not too far into the 60s, but into the late 50s. They had the most exaggerated tail fins of any car company. And this 1958 DeSoto, it's a Sportsman Fire Dome model with a 361. Scott Peterson from Jeffersonville, Vermont is the owner. This is certainly a nice looking vehicle, and I think of this type of a car whenever I read the comic strip Shoe and Cosmo Fishhawk brings his car in for repairs. This is the type of vehicle it was, the 58 DeSoto, a classic when it comes to tail fins. From the Chrysler Corporation. Been a while since they've made DeSotos though. Richard and Agnes LaValle own this 65 Ford Falcon. 1965 Ford Falcon. Kind of a goldish green combination. It's a convertible. 1965. Marvin Fountain is the owner of this 1967 Ford Mustang with a 289 engine. He's from West Chazy. This is black. And the red interior. Popular combination. Particularly red interiors were very, very popular in that time period. We're at the annual Chazy Lions Club Old Home Day car show, the 29th of July 2007. If you're enjoying this, we'd like to hear from you. This is viewer supported local television, and hey, we'd like to hear from the Lions Club. They've kind of taken us for granted that we're going to show up. They don't even invite us to this anymore. We just mark it on our calendar and show up. They've been several years since they've invited us to come cover this. It'd be nice if the Lions Club would become viewer supporters of Hometown Cable. We cover a lot of their events and promote a lot of things happening in and around Chazy. And it'd be nice if the Lions Club would decide to help support our efforts. We'd really appreciate that. Here's a 67 Ford Mustang. Tracy Snyder from Richford, Vermont. They do get a lot of vehicles from the other side of the lake at this car show, which is always nice. As always, Jim Hubble has a vehicle here. And once again, he's brought his mongoose. We're at a car show with Jim Hubble in attendance. I'll stop in, see if you can check the mongoose. Just don't feed it. That's all he asks. And you do not feed the mongoose. This is a Plymouth Fury. This, of course, is Charlie's car, Uncle Charlie, the Plymouth Fury. There's a nice looking Corvette. Let's see, it's 72, owned by Kelly Chapman from West Chazy, and that's what a Corvette owner looks like right there. With the T-roof, split roof. And Kelly's been a long time fan of Corvettes. Lawrence Banker from Peru, 66 Ford Mustang. It's black, and this one's got a black interior. That must heat up real nice in the summer. Probably heats up nice in the winter too. And next to it, we'll go from black to white, very white. Galaxy 500. It's a convertible. It's got the red and white interior. A lot of folks enjoying the show, walking around, strolling and chatting and seeing folks that they haven't seen in years. That's the best part of these old home days, just to come down and stroll and leisurely enjoy yourself. 64. And looks like Fred Trim from Morrisville. Or is it Morrisonville? Got a New York State sticker on it, so it must be Morrisonville. Ford Galaxy. And it must be tough keeping this baby clean, but it sure looks nice when he does shine it up. And of course the cars of that period were so darn long in those straight lines. This is a Barracuda, Plymouth Barracuda. And we'll go over to the other side and find out the owner information. It's a 1970 Plymouth. Andrew Bayshard is the owner. He's from Port Leyden right now, Port Leyden, New York. Well, with a name like Bayshard, chances are he's from this neck of the woods originally. Sign says look but don't touch. Somebody must have touched this one because got some paint chipped off. This one's apparently a work in progress. This is a 66 Dodge. Looks like Joshua Morgan from Morrisonville is the owner. 66 Dodge. That's a Dart, Dodge Dart. They were a very popular car, and a car that held its value. You bought a used car when this car was in the used car range of vehicles to buy, and this was a popular model, price-wise and efficiency-wise. It was a Dodge Dart was just a popular vehicle to have. And let's see, Ford Mustang 67, Don McBrayer from Plattsburgh. This is black, again with black interior. And they'll sure look like speakers. So you're gonna go deaf if you Riding this baby too long. And here we have a 1965, it looks like, Ford Mustang. This would be a very early model. 64 and a half was the first model of a Mustang. And Bill and Pat Carr from Plattsburgh are the owners. This is a blue, as you may or may not be able to tell. Sure looks blue in my viewer here, and should look blue in your TV set also. A lot of Mustangs here today. Now this, I'm guessing, is a Studebaker. It's a Daytona. And we'll find out if it's a Studebaker. Just hang with us.
Taking pictures of you there,
Yeah, it's a 65. It's Ernest Burrell from West Chazy.
Gonna ruin his camera.
He's the owner.
It won't break.
And this is a 1965 Studebaker Daytona. I don't know if they made Studebakers much past this time period, maybe into the early 70s. '70 Cadillac, and this fellow here is probably the owner. He would be Gerald Raymond or Raymond in Keysville. 1970 Cadillac, blue in color. Annual Lions Club Old Home Day. Chazy Old Home Day here in beautiful downtown Chazy. We're in the 64 to 73 category. A lot of vehicles to look at. We're going to turn and get this last row, then we're going to head up closer to the bandstand. Okay, Todd Blondo is a proud owner. He's from Altona, of this 1976 Corvette Stingray. It's 76 Corvette. Let's zoom in again, see if we can figure it out. 76. There we go. Okay, a 82 Dodge. Robert and Mary Bouvier from Plattsburgh. Nice convertible. And you'd better not be wearing shorts or a tank top and hop in here. No cloth seats here. '85 Buick Grand Master. Looks like Sean Baxter from Plattsburgh is the owner of this Black Beauty. Here's a 74 Pontiac Trans Am. Fred and Linda Martin from Morrisonville. Interesting sunroof. Doubt if that's original. Could be, but I really would doubt it. It's like somebody put a skylight in their attic. Kevin Agnew's 1979 Pontiac Trans Am. He's from Plattsburgh. This is kind of a purple tint to it. Not sure what it will look like on TV, but right here in the real world it looks kind of purpley. Decide for yourself what it looks like on your particular TV set. Different TV sets will show that a different color. Darn, there we go, get that thing out of the corner. Here, 1990 Mustang. Owners are from Vermont. I'm going to let you read at home here and see if you can figure out what they say here. Coder, I guess. Denis Coder. Oh, he's from Quebec, not from Vermont, excuse me. Yeah, from Quebec. So we got a Quebec vehicle here. It's got a bit of a blue to it. One of the blue shades. White interior, convertible. Hey, if it's your vehicle, bring it to a car show. There's an 87 Bronco. Norman Thibault from Colchester owns it. And I'm sure there are people who look at Broncos and see a classic vehicle. It's 20 years old. I'm not sure I would trade a 1957 Chevy for this 1987 Ford Bronco, but if we all liked the same vehicle and had the same vehicle, it'd be kind of boring, wouldn't it? All for show, it says on the plate. All for show. Hope it's the car, not the owner that the plate's talking about. It's a 78 Pontiac Trans Am. Louis Hirschberg from Burlington is the owner. Like they're trying to steal their roof line from the Corvette folks. 1978 Pontiac Trans Am. I have to call it a muscle car. We've moved to another category, and we've got a proud owner polishing his vehicle here. Vehicle is owned by Ivan Shores from North Ferrisburg, Vermont. It's I think 2005. Let's verify that. 2005 Pontiac GTO. It's all black and getting shinier by the moment here as we stand here. Well, there it is. It's 2005 Pontiac GTO from North Ferrisburg. Ivan Shore is the owner. 2002 Pontiac Trans Am. Like some kind of Firehawk. Stephen Dyke from Milton is the owner. That's even got more on that T-roofs. And it's a nice black one also. These young guys are dreaming of the day they can drive one of these babies. Or maybe dreaming of the day that they'll appear on Hometown Cable. Next, we have a blue one. Oh, looks like the information is on the other side. It's a 2000 Ford Mustang. Dale Trim from Peru is the owner. And just in case you don't know it's a Mustang, it says it right there. With the racing flag on the side and on the hood. And next to it we have a deep red. This is from Clinton County area. It's a Corvette. Edward Jeanette from West Chazy is the owner, and it's a 2003 Corvette. Oh, it's Elwood, excuse me, Elwood Jeanette. There's a grasshopper on my shoulder right now. If I can get a shot of him, here we go. My pet grasshopper. Alright, we're going to come down here and do all the tractors. All the tractors in the show this year. Arthur Boyer from Plattsburgh, Farm All Cub, and we apologized to Arthur when we saw him just a couple moments ago about not making it to the antique gas engine and tractor show this year. Gordy and I showed up. We were there. We finished the Plattsburgh parade, the 4th of July weekend parade, and went there, and it was drizzling, and sky was gray, and it looked like just more of the same coming. So we just decided that we'd think about it for the following day, Sunday, and then Sunday I just had family things going on and just couldn't make it. But we were there. We showed up at the antique gas engine and tractor show, and unfortunately it wasn't a terrible weekend, but it wasn't a particularly good weekend, and particularly to get my video camera out there in the drizzle and the rain. So this will have to do here. This will take the place. This lone entry here in Chazy will take the place of our Hometown Cable's antique gas engine coverage this year and tractors. People get disappointed when we don't cover certain things, but quite frankly, we don't get a whole lot of support from the community. I'm not paid to be here today. This is a Sunday afternoon, a beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is what I'm doing for the sake of the community. If you appreciate our virtually non-stop efforts, this is viewer-supported television, and 99% of our viewers do not support us. This is David Bordeaux from Plattsburgh, owns this 1970 Harley Davidson. If you enjoy our programming, we invite you to help support it. Let's see, Alan Langevin from Champlain, probably originally here from Chazy. 1998 Harley Davidson. Let's take them half a day just to shine up the chrome. As I was saying, if you appreciate our program, we'd sure like to hear from you and get some support, because we're not paid to be here. And we give up a lot of Saturdays, a lot of Sundays, so that there's something to show on Hometown Cable. Here's Christopher Well, I'm going to have to zoom in here. I'm going to say Steris. Right here, just around the corner in Chazy. And this is 78 Kawasaki. Tremblay's enjoying the car show. Yeah, there are a few Tremblays here in Chazy. Okay, all commercial trucks, vans, and military are in this category. Fire department. Does it have a name on that flag? I'm not sure if it does. It's a 66 GMC fire truck. It says Kent Martin from Plattsburgh is the owner. If you're interested in a fire truck, Ellenburg Depot, as of this taping, has a pumper for sale. If you're a collector who's interested in fire trucks, contact the good folks at Ellenburg Depot Fire Department. Dick Matot. He's got his 1947 Chevy half-ton pickup. A very nice vehicle, and we've seen this many times, including on a calendar that Ozzy Sweet put out. Our good friend Ozzy Sweet, world-renowned photographer. And another red one right next door to it. This is James Provost, 1960 Ford. He's from Morrisonville. 1960 Ford F100. That nice white front end here makes the bugs show up better when you hit the bugs. That must be real fun to keep clean. Must be a lot of fun to keep that front grille clean. There's a custom cab. It's a 64 Ford. And Fran Bushy from Chazy. And I've certainly seen this one more than once. Well, at least it doesn't have flowers painted on it. There's a VW bus. This is a 67 Victor Lions from Chazy. Little VW bus, yellow and white. Vehicle very popular with the hippies for various reasons. Okay, here's a 79 Chevy El Camino. Raymond Blow from Moore's Forks is the owner. And he figures that rather than send the kids to college, he's putting the money into the gas tank here. So it says Kids Gas Fund on the gas tank cover and the gas cap cover. El Camino, part car, part truck, and apparently a gas guzzler. So you can either drive this or send your kids to college And in this case, Ray decided to invest his money in the gas tank. There's a... we know who owns this. We know who owns this. I'll give you a hint. It says Sam right there in the front bumper. Unrestored, as you can see. Sam Fairchild. And this is a 61 Ford unibody. And Sam is from West Chazy. Roy Hurd is still up serenading the folks by the bandstand. It's about 23 before 2, so very shortly I would assume they'll be crowning the king and queen. We're going to go as far as we can here and see as many vehicles as we can. Wayne Brown from Plattsburgh, 73 Chevy Camaro, and it's a variation of a brown color owned by Mr. Brown. And one of the things they do here at the Old Home Day celebration is a variety of kids games. Looks like it's soccer. Imagine that, soccer here in Chazy. Must have imported some out-of-town tunes. Oh my, you just missed. He knew it wasn't going to go in. He's just teasing the fans there. Little youth soccer tournament going on as part of the activities today. Okay, 68 Chevy Camaro, owned by Frank Stunzy the Younger. Not to be confused with the old guy sitting here. Not this old guy. It's not Pat's either. It's Frank the Second owns this. And as you may have noticed, it's black. Camaro Super Sport. And just to show you what transpired to fix this up, here's what it looked like when they had it apart and started to work on it. And there's what it looked when it was all stripped down with the primer on it. So these books are available at Borders, are they? Borders bookstore?
No, this is his personal book. It's in the...
Oh, I thought he'd have it available at Borders bookstore.
The rear end's tore apart, the motor's out. Go on and on and on.
So maybe Sam Fairchild has the right idea, huh? Just let it sit there as it is. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort goes into all this. You never keep track of your time because you'll never get that back if you decide to sell it. You gotta do it because you love it. How about the elder Frank? Does he have any old cars?
No, he don't. He would like one, but his wife says no.
His wife says no. Uh-oh. The only model you're allowed is Pat.
Yeah.
old model.
No restoring to that.
No. As is. A 1933 Dodge. A little crazy to drive. Bill Desso Jr. from Plattsburgh. And it's got the primer on. But he just couldn't wait to get it out here and show folks. Oh. You got the primer here, and one of them works in progress. Comes complete with soda and chips. I'm assuming that's a toolbox, not a cooler back there. And it looks like You can stick your head out the top on a warm, sunny day if you're so inclined. There's a little hot rod, 1948 Chevy, 350. Frank Caron of Dannemora. Again, this is not the way it looks coming off the showroom, all that chrome. Makes you want to go home and watch American Graffiti. There's a 48 Plymouth, Lyle and Kathy Tremblay from Plattsburgh. It's a two-door special deluxe. And do not attempt to get in it from this side. One of the other side has a doorknob there, a door handle. No, no door handle there either. Don't forget to, you don't roll up the windows and shut the door. You're never going to get back in. I'm going to worry about locking your keys in there. If your windows are up and the door is shut, you're out of luck. You have to crawl in through the trunk and take the back seat out. No door handles. Andrew Coleman from Plattsburgh, 56 Ford pickup truck. If you like yellow, this is your baby here. Okay, nice shade of yeller. A lot of chrome under the hood. So color, and it's going to get the sunroof too. Aftermarket option, I think. What do you put next to a yellow vehicle? Well, you put a brighter yellow vehicle. George Stefaniak from West Chazy, 66 Pontiac Le Mans. Doesn't say lemons. Lemons is the color here, but Le Mans is the make. A lot of chrome. It's about 12 before 2 here. Look at the hood here. Look at that mirror. You can see. You can see what you what you're looking at from looking up or looking down. Years past, I believe the old Home Day King and Queen were crowned around 2 p.m. So I'm going to keep my ears open here. When Roy Hurd gets done, they'll probably get into the crowning. We also want to be able to get that. Bob Sikora, looks like, from West Chazy, 1931 Ford Model A. And this is the souped up hot rod version. I prefer the ones that look like the model showroom, came off the showroom. But if they weren't for vehicles like this, we wouldn't be able to go home and watch American Graffiti, because there never would have been that movie. These roadsters were very, very popular when I was growing up, and obviously still popular today. Here's a 72 Plymouth Barracuda. Richard and Kathleen Tyler from Winooski. Plymouth Barracuda. Roger Robinson and young Mr. Beeman enjoying the show. 56 Ford Lyndon Roger Tebow from Burlington, South Burlington. Green with that touch of aqua in it. It's a 56 Ford, is it? 56 Ford F100 350 with the chrome under the hood. Right next to that Barracuda. License plate says Puddles. I would imagine if you drive this car, you avoid the puddles. Actually, it's a truck, not a car. There's a 33 Ford, or what was a 33 Ford, Roger and Linda Tebow from South Burlington. Looks like they each drove one over today. And another one here where the no door handles. You have to be very careful not to roll up the windows and shut the doors, because you're not going to get back in. And this says Pebbles on the license plate. Got the running boards. Any vehicle that's got running boards on it certainly gets my attention. And there's the chrome with the hood down, but the sides are open. Why did they stick that bear in front of that nice looking grill here, huh? Let's enjoy the car. We can look at teddy bears somewhere else. And if you like red, there's another red one. And we'll zoom in and find out it's a 67 Chevy Camaro. And the owner is anonymous. Anonymous owner. 67 Chevy Camaro. 396 Super Sport. Look at the chrome. Look at the chrome. ...2007 Chazy Lions Club Old Home Day celebration. We're enjoying the car show and keeping our ears up, waiting for the awarding of the King and Queen. We've just been looking at the Modified Special Interest and Hot Rods category. Factory muscle cars from 64 to 73. This one's got a 442 in it. That ought to qualify as a muscle car. 72 Oldsmobile. Jerry and Diana Seymour from Plattsburgh. .442. A lot of muscle in this 72 vehicle. Let's see. Probably gets at least 8 or 9 miles per gallon. Leaded gas, of course. And let's see, we got a 70 Dodge. Bob Baxter from Plattsburgh. It's a I think it's a Dodge Challenger. Purple or lavender. My viewer, I'm looking at it here, it's got shows a blue color, but this is a lavender color, so Not sure if this color is going to come across on your TV set the way it should. It's certainly not in my viewer that I'm looking at here, my color viewer. It looks kind of blue. We've got Michael Snyder from Richford, Vermont, 67 Chevy Camaro. $327.
People sign up for oldest here at Chazy Old Home Games. You don't have to be old. So if you think you're older than 75, come see me. You have children from the oldest and the youngest here at Chazy Old Home.
Okay, Bruce Mercy, 68 Chevy Camaro from Montgomery Center, Vermont. It's a dark green with a white on the front. As we said, we're always looking for viewer supporters, and that was the time when Norman LaRush drove up to my house, and this time here he stopped me here and said, "Here, I appreciate your programming. You don't get to see you around very often, so here's my support." So Norman and Suzanne LaRush, we appreciate their renewed viewer support of Hometown Cable, so always feel free to come up and throw money at us if we're out there taping, or even if I'm in church. Our buddy Bernice Barcombe does that every year. We'll see her in church, and once a year she'll write us a check and renew her support. Here's let's see, David Bordeaux from Plattsburgh, 67 watt Chevrolet Camaro. For sale, $8,500. $8,500. This could be yours. Sounds like a bargain to me. If you're not looking for gas mileage, this could be the car you're looking for. Nice red color. Ready to go. Roadrunner, catch it if you can. 69 Plymouth, Tom Guerin from Moore's Forks. 69 Plymouth Roadrunner, 4-speed, 2-door. It comes complete with the Roadrunner. Beep beep. Okay, nice looking vehicle. And next to it, kind of yeller in the color, 1970 Plymouth Barracuda, Dave Capito from Rouse's Point. Rouse's Point in the hot rod muscle car section, 64 to 73. And everybody's glad to be on Hometown Cable. Can hardly wait to get their viewer support check. Alright, some of the guys asked me to take a picture here of Mary Tremblay, so there she is. Fine viewer supporter, Russell and Mary. Viewer supporters, I should say. That wasn't Russell with her that she was talking to. There, let's see, I don't know who owns this. It's black. It's a Dodge Charger. And we got just a few more vehicles here to glance at. And we're going up to that bandstand and find out who this year's king and queen are, and see if Andy and Diane Tebow will relinquish their crown. Diane said she might not show up today. She wants to hang on to her crown as queen of the annual Old Home Day. 2007 Pontiac Turbo. Crystal Barber. (2007). I would say this is not restored, huh? Fine looking vehicle. Fine looking vehicle. And next to it, again, no thing in the window here. It's a 405. It's a Chevy. I'm gonna go look at the registration. I'm gonna guess 62 or 3. I'm gonna go cheat and look at the registration. It's a 62 Chevy. Hasn't been on the road since '94 though, so almost time to register this and put it back on the road. This looks like it's gonna be our last one. Jim Misak is here. This has got, I don't know what the heck this is. It's a Ford F-150. It's awfully big. No information on it. There's Jim up there enjoying the Old Home Day. He's from Moores. What's he doing here in Chazy?
7. Our royal couple this year is extremely deserving of being king and queen of 2007. Between them, they have been involved in every year since 1968 of Chazy Old Home Day. So I have a few statistics on the king and queen. And our last year's king and queen, Andy and Diane Keeble, are here to pass on their crowns to this year's king and queen. So away we go. Our royal couple. The king was born in West Chazy, a registered Democrat by the age of 3. I was going to make a song of that, born on the mountaintop in West Chazy, a registered Democrat at the age of 3. But then I go on, I couldn't make up enough words to go with the tune.
Sounds like
How many people at 3 years old are registered to vote as a Democrat? There aren't too many of us. Most of us got to make our confirmation and things like that first. He attended Chazy Central Rural School and graduated from that great facility. As a youngster in his teen years, he worked on local dairy farms in the Chazy area. Now, he was a very fast learner. There he learned that there was more than the front end of a cow. There was the receiving area, the discharge area, and then the final product.
Last year's king and queen.
But he did learn that fast. The king was born in 1936. That's where I was supposed to start out. The queen was born in 1939, a beautiful blonde baby. The queen also attended CCRS. The queen was a Girl Scout leader and a den mother for the Boy Scouts. The queen also is known for her beautiful smile. And when you hear who it is, you can relate to that. The king has been in local politics for 30 plus years. He's been in the fire department, the Lions Club, the Chazy Central Rural School Alumni Association, most of these organizations for close to 30 years. He has accomplished many goals with the support of his great queen. Behind every successful king is a very supportive, helpful queen. There are stories of the king and queen, of a remodeling project at their castle. When the queen was the one using the jackhammer to remove the concrete, and the king sitting royally on his throne. And when you find out who this is, you can picture that. Got to sit back here and recompose. The King and Queen also attend Sacred Heart Church in Chazy. The King and Queen operated a local grocery store and meat market. They were well known for their meat cutting and their subs and salads. After 18 years of being in local business, they ventured to other interests. He as a car salesman and a mail carrier. She for F.W. Myers and Champlain Valley Physicians Hospital. The King and Queen were married in 1958 on April 4th. They raised 3 beautiful children. They also have 8 grandchildren, and a number of them are here today. The King and Queen have been involved in Old Home Day from the start. For many years, since 1968, the King has been chairman of Old Home Day. Also, the King's parents were King and Queen of Chazy Old Home Day in 1979. The Chazy Lions Club is proud to present our King and Queen of Chazy Old Home Day 2007, Donald Bucket Trombley and Elizabeth Betty St. John Trombley. Would you come up here?
There they are. I've been looking for them. They're hiding on us.
Bucket asked me a number of times, who's King and Queen? Well, I gave him quite a story, but I don't know if I convinced him. A couple of times he says, you lions, son of a gun. Benny and Bucket, would you please come right up here? Lion, Mr. Devons, Ray Devons, will present you your trophies and the flowers, and your crowns will be passed on to you by Andy. Andy, you got to give up your chair.
Get off the throne.
You know, if need be, we'll buy you another one just like it, but that's okay. You're not the top anymore. You're like the rest of us, we're unroyal subjects. Now, Bucket, come right up here in the center so people can take your picture. Try to act surprised. Benny, come up here.
Congratulations. Stay back and cross. I got a whole year to do it. Ready?
I'm sure they will royal honorably. They have always made the town and the community of Chazy very proud, and they will continue. What'd you say, Ray? This is something like the coronation and the passing of the crown over in England, and we're going to do it here in Chazy. So Andy and Diane, you come right up and you pass your crowns on to this royal couple. And next year in the parade, you'll see this couple riding on the wagon behind Lawrence Deal and his shiny tractor.
I'll get a little more
Pull his ears apart there, Andy. They'll fit.
There we go. King and Queen.
Bucket, if you could have worn that crown a few years ago when you won those coveralls in Joe Grigor's barn, man, you'd have looked sharp.
Bucket and Betty.
Joe Grigor used to have this barn. He had an aisle on both sides of it. Bucket was on one side and I was on the other. And he used to say, someday I'm going to be king. I'd say, someday I'm going to be king. Now we're both king. And we both shoveled manure in Joe Grigor's barn. Also, this is our 40th year of Chazy Old Home Day, and it's a great honor to be part of awarding Bucket and Betty, King and Queen, for our royal couple in the year 2007, 40 years, and if a tear comes to your eye, that's good. Thank you very much.
There you have it. Running a long list of deserving recipients. This year's 2007 King and Queen of Chazy at the Old Home Day. Donald Bucket.
That's okay. Sheila's going to go out and shed a tear with her parents.
Looks like that's going to wrap up Hometown Cable's coverage of this year's Old Home Day celebration. Congratulations to the new king and like this young fellow's waiting to get dunked. Opportunities here, your enjoyment when you attend this thing. If you have ever been to Chazy, then you qualify. If you know where Chazy is on a map, you qualify to come to the Old Home Day. We've seen people from Mowers and Champlain and all over the North Country here. You don't necessarily have to have Chazy roots. And of course there's new folks here. Here's the Dupree kid here. Being pulled around by Ma and Pa. Well, that's it. Beautiful day here in the North Country. Beautiful day in Chazy. Thanks for watching, and for people like Norman LaRush, our latest renewed viewer supporter, and anybody who's watching this who feels the urge coming on to finally get on board and help support this programming so we can continue to do this and continue to want to do this. When you know you're not going to get a dime more for going out and working on a Sunday afternoon, you got to kind of pick yourself up and push yourself out the door sometimes, and that's what we do. And we might even be back here in Chazy tonight for a soccer game, who knows. Thanks for watching, and for those of you who support Hometown Cable's efforts.